Looking at a machine that's enormously powerful. I refer to it as being logically malleable. You can shape it and twist in ways that suit your purposes, and this gives you, enormous power. But when you do that, you can often do things in ways that they haven't been done before, and that generates a lot of policy vacuums. You don't know exactly what to do in a case like that, and we have a lot of privacy policy vacuums. And when you try to solve these problems, they often give rise to what I call conceptual muddles. As to say, you have these concepts, and you're not exactly sure how the concepts work because the old concepts don't seem to fall into place. So if you have, let's take a simple example. I know when a lot of wireless networks first came out, people would try to decide whether or not they could use someone else's wireless network. You're out on the street, and you're driving around. Practice used to be called war driving. You're driving around trying to tap into other people's wireless systems, right? And then you have the question, were you doing something wrong or not? Well, it's on the public street. It's completely public. But it's a private network. What's that private network doing on the public street? So the line between the public and the private can be very difficult to draw with this new kind of technology. So you have what I call a conceptual muddle there. You have to often straighten that out before you can get clear about what the new policy should be. Well, moreover, I think that the computing technology as a technology evolves very quickly. So not only has technology changed things in the past, but I think it's really going up exponentially with computing because it's so pervasive in our lives. And we're going to have more and more policy vacuums, more and more conceptual muddles as we go along. What I think, I want to say a few words about privacy now. That's just to kind of set up the technology side. On the privacy side, I regard privacy as extremely important. I mean, for me, there's some argument about what privacy is. Philosophers argue about everything, so we certainly argue about privacy. But I take privacy to be a protection from surveillance and interference and intrusion. That's roughly based on the 3 different steps that the privacy has gone through in U.S. law, so it's somewhat U.S.-centric. But I think it's a pretty good definition that captures most of what we think is the case with privacy. And with privacy, we set up socially various boundaries about what can be crossed, what knowledge can flow one way and what knowledge can flow on another way. It varies a lot from culture to culture. There's no question about it. I think all cultures have some sense of privacy, though. Of course, with the new technology that I just mentioned coming along constantly,